Hi, I'm George Karas, and welcome to my webinar on why your boss just doesn't care about your future. Now, when I first say that, it probably sounds a bit harsh, but I'm not just talking about the bad bosses that we've all had that we knew didn't care about our future. I'm also talking about good bosses as well. And why is that they don't care about your future? Well, the thing is, if you think about it, your boss is primarily concerned about themselves. We all are concerned about ourselves. We're all at the center of our own attention. And so what is your boss thinking about? Your boss is thinking about how well is your team performing and how does that reflect on him so that he can get a promotion so that his career goes really well, right? So that's what you would expect. It's a natural thing. Now, it's not to say he doesn't care about his team, but when he's thinking about you and your future, he's thinking about it in the context of how it advances his future. So what does that mean? It means he's concerned about your performance on the team because your team's performance means he's available to get a promotion. He's more likely to have the career success that he wants. And it sounds a bit harsh, but really that's what you can expect from yourselves and from anyone. And, okay, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, I've had some great bosses who I know really cared about me, and I have too. But I think about, in my case, the one boss that I've really liked working with the most, who I thought was just really an exceptional human being. And he told me at one point, he said, George, when you're thinking about hiring somebody into a position, into a role, it's okay to promise them something a couple years out that you may not be able to deliver on. And he said, and the reason is because in 2 years, the environmental context will have changed, the company will have shifted, and you probably won't be in the role anyway, so you won't have to deliver on the promise, right? And so what is he really saying there? What he's saying is that he's interested in my future, but he's interested in my future to the extent that it's our future and it advances his career as well as mine, right? And that's really all you can sort of expect. And this surprises people sometimes, right? That people do things that are right for themselves and for their career, but it really shouldn't. And you see sometimes when somebody says, gosh, I had a great relationship with my boss and then all of a sudden XYZ happened and they left me out in the cold and they're just totally shocked that happened. Well, the reason is because they have to put their careers first, right? Their family, providing for their family, doing the things they need to do for themselves before they can help you as much as they might want to help you. Okay, so what about, yourself, right? If you manage people, if you're a leader, if you're somebody who is in that kind of role, you probably think, well, I'm different. And, I know I'd like to think that I'm different as well, but when I think about the people that I worked with underneath me and my teams, some of them I really, really cared about and I really wanted them to be successful. And so sometimes I would help them create, a plan for their careers and a trajectory and a developmental plan and help them go and do the things they wanted to do. But even as much as I tried to help them with those things, it was never the focus of my efforts. The focus of my efforts were, of course, on my team's performance so that I could get promoted, so that I'd have a successful career, right? And that's just the natural thing to do. And I think this concept is really best covered by this quote from Jim Rohn, which says, if you don't create your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan, and guess what they have planned for you? Nothing much, right? What do they have planned for you? Nothing much. And that's a message that I think is really worth taking to heart, because I talk to a lot of people when I ask them to take me through their careers. What they say is, well, I got a position at such and such a company and I did really well in it, and then somebody approached me about a promotion to a different role in a different division, so I took it, and then somebody approached me about another position and I took it, and then somebody I'd worked for in the past went to a different company and he called me up and he said, hey, would you be interested in coming and joining this company? So I did. And so people can span decades doing that kind of work and their careers can go fairly well, but the point is they've never really taken agency over making their career happen. And so what's the point in all this? The point in all this is you really need to create a plan for your career and you need to take action to make it happen. Because if you don't, you're really just allowing circumstance to dictate how your career moves forward and not really living the best career and the best life for yourself.